Hey, John.
How's it going?
It's good. How are you?
It's good with me too.
Oh,
Yeah.
right on. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm glad you're glad.
Mm.
Yep. Cha, cha, cha.
Oh, John, question.
Yes, Kat.
Do you want to record a podcast?
Yes. Yes, I
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Well, guess what? We're doing it right now, brother.
All right. I love that.
It's
for us.
happening. Me too. The name of the episode. No, the podcast.
Oh, yeah. We don't even know the name of the episode. The episode doesn't exist yet. We can't
doesn't.
name it.
Isn't that fun? Isn't that
We
fun?
don't even know what gender it is.
We get to all find out together. The name of the podcast is My Mistake.
It is.
And John, as you know, and as our dozens of listeners know, that's right, we've upgraded to dozens.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. We're beyond tens. We're well into dozens.
We talk about mistakes. Yours, mine, other people's, people in history. Sometimes we talk to Australians, plural. Sometimes we talk to an Australian,
Recently.
singular.
Kat, you continue to be accurate in your description of this podcast. And I would like to just take a moment to congratulate you on your accuracy.
Thanks, man. We've been doing this for over 200 times here. So I would hope I fucking know what this goddamn podcast is about.
That's right. Now, we will eventually celebrate our 200th episode.
One of these days.
It may be 30 episodes after our 200th episode, but we're going to celebrate it. Damn it.
Yeah. Don't think we're not, because we are.
No, it will be celebrated.
We're going to jump in our Wayback Machine, and we're going to go way back, and we're going to celebrate it.
It may be the 300th episode where we celebrate our 200th episode.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll do what we want.
Exactly, John.
Nobody's paying us for this.
I was going to say, you know why? Because we get to do whatever the fuck we want.
That's right. It's our podcast. We pay for the privilege to pour these words into our dear listeners, our dozens of listeners' ears. So that upgrades us to 24, which is that a gross? I don't know. What how many? No, that's not. I don't know what a gross is. It's probably 200 something.
I don't know. Like you lost me.
I did. I lost me. I've lost us both, Kat.
And maybe some listeners.
Oh, definitely. I don't know how I hang on to listeners when I've lost myself.
No.
I don't.
And sometimes we have grab bags, or we have Dunny Dippers, or we have so many different.
Ask. Well, yeah. I mean, did you mention the hysterical mistakes?
Not really. I kind of glazed over it. I said mistakes in history, but I completely just skipped the whole meat of that sandwich.
Honestly, I feel like that's 74% of my contribution to this podcast is that I coined the term hysterical mistake and didn't do it on purpose. It was an actual misspeak.
True, but you've done more than just that, John. I think you're selling yourself a little short.
I mean, I'm 6'2". I don't know what to tell you. I do not have eyes of blue. What are you going to do? You can't have everything.
No, you can't.
Can't rain all the time.
No one's perfect.
No. Nope.
Anyway, John, what are we doing tonight?
Tonight, I thought that I would, for a change, actually try to contribute some prepared content, Kat.
Oh, wow. Really?
I mean, prepared. I use that term very loosely, but nonetheless, research, and I use that term also very loosely, has been done.
Okay, that's exciting.
And it is in the form of, and now I feel like I should do a Wonder Twins thing, but that's gonna that's gonna divide our listeners by age group, who know who Xana and Jan are. And I don't even know if those are the right names of the Wonder Twins, but whatever. Anyway, Kat, what I have for you is data. Data to be presented in the form of a Bison report.
Oh, shit.
Bison report. This is the Bison report. They're big fucking animals and somebody's gonna get hurt. They do not want you to pet them. They do not really like you. They say, stay the fuck in your car. Stay the fuck really far and do not pet us. We're big fucking bison and we are not your friends. Bison Report. This is the Bison Report. We are big fucking animals and somebody's bound to get hurt.
And I'm just going to assume Anne has inserted the Bison Report theme right here. She
Of
teased
course
them
she
earlier.
has.
To
Know that.
Yeah. Now, we heard from Jill and Amber, mistakers extraordinaire, that they heard that little piece, that little tease of Anne's contributions to our segments with her little theme songs. I shouldn't say little; they're amazing. I mean,
Dude, they're epic.
they are epic, and we have received requests to get full versions of those. And I figured, in order to earn that, for us to truly deserve full versions of those theme songs, we have to actually prepare the content that comes after them.
Unfortunately for
Right?
us.
I mean, totally.
I know.
If I could find an excuse and just be like, hey, Anne, why don't you just put that on a loop for 20 minutes? And I'm going to go have a drink.
John, I don't think people will be that upset.
I don't think they would. I
No.
think, frankly, our listens might go up. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But anyway, so now we've either talked over the Bison Report or, I don't know, or Anne has done some editing magic.
Wizardry.
To make this all happen and sound like it's in a good order. But yeah, so Kat,
John.
I'd like to start off the Bison Report with the Bison Statistics Report.
Okay.
The stats. Let's go to the tape, Kat. We're going to talk about Bison by the numbers.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
And here's the thing. I wish that I knew more about sports, but I don't, but I do for right now, because I would like totally have done like a Sports Center ripoff or something like that, but I have no idea how Sports Center works. So, so I can't
Okay.
do that. But this is Bison's by the numbers. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, Kat,
By the way, John used to work at the NFL Network. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
I worked at the NFL Network, and I also worked at Fox, the home of Fox Sports.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah. What are you going to do? And now, when I worked at Fox, I want everybody to know I worked for American Idol, not for any of the other Fox properties.
Sure.
And I may cut this whole piece. We'll see. Who knows? Kat, if you were to guess how many bison are out there around in the world today, and let's keep it to North America, because that's
Okay.
actually that's where my stats apply.
Okay.
I don't know. There might be 1 or 2, 3, 6 other bison in other places, but I'm gonna say the vast majority. If you know a bison,
Yeah.
that bison probably lives in the northern hemisphere,
Okay.
on the North American continent.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm-
just
yeah.
a broad guess. What do we
I'm going to say 2,000.
Oh boy. Okay. You've
Uh-oh.
underestimated Kat.
Oh, that's good.
Do you want to go a little higher?
5,000.
Yeah, you're not even in the ballpark. You're not in the Bison Park. You're not in the,
50,000.
you're still not there.
I'm
Still not
that.
there.
See,
No.
that makes me very happy.
Right? It's good. Now here's the thing. So I'm going to give you in the U.S. right, the United States, we have 20,500 plains bison in conservation herds. Right? That's herds like you have in Yellowstone. Those are conservation herds. And yeah. Now, in commercial herds, right?
boy.
Like these are This is actually for for beefalo kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
We have 420,000 in commercial herds.
Oh my
in the US.
God. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm upset again. That's upsetting.
I mean, yeah, I get it. I get it. There, 20,500 are living like good lives just out there in the world, and
like
maybe
Barb.
not good, but natural.
Our friend Barb, you know.
Barb's out there,
Living her best life.
hanging out with the conservation herds
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. Yeah, the commercial herds, it's a little different. There's a whole slaughter situation there. We're not going to get into it. Then in Canada, they kind of go the opposite. Now, Kat, do you know that there are 2 different major species of bison? And not species. I don't know where you would divide this, but there are 2 different types of bison. We have the plains bison.
Okay.
Right. And those are the ones that in the continental United States, that's where there were a ton of those. then almost got wiped out in the 1800s, and then a bunch of them, have been preserved. And that's why we have 20,500 of those plains bison in the conservation herds. But there's another type of bison called a wood bison. I was unaware of this until like a full 30 minutes ago when I did this research.
Okay.
Okay. There are no wood bison alive in the contiguous United States, in any of the United States, including Alaska.
Okay.
However, in Canada, there are at least 11,000 wood bison roaming wild.
Excellent.
Right? I mean,
Good.
Canadians know how to do that.
Of course.
And of course, all of these statistics will be, there will be links to these sources for these statistics included in the show notes.
I love that.
Yeah.
So professional, John.
Right? I mean, come on. We are nothing if not professionals at something. So yeah, those are some numbers that I feel like I felt like it's good to get that out there to know that there are like literally 440,500 at least, or around, I shouldn't say at least, around 440,500 bison in the United States, plus an extra, 13,200 up in the Canada place.
Great.
Right. I say things that way because I always like to test to find out if Leah, your wife to whom you are married, is listening to the podcast. But I don't really have to worry about that anymore, do I?
No.
Nah,
It's not a concern.
Yep. All right. So those are some just straight up numbers. Now here's some facts about bison that I thought our listeners might find interesting. We're a very fact based show tonight. I think you're
I
gonna
love
find.
that. I agree.
Yeah. So the question here, the title of this article that I took from a-z-animals.com is, what features make bison dangerous animals?
Oh, okay.
And they go on to say, the bison's size alone makes it a formidable and dangerous creature. An adult male bison may stand over 6 feet tall and weigh up to 2,200 pounds. Mm-hmm. In addition, bison often appear calm, but they can act aggressively toward humans.
They're seething. They're just always just bubbling under the surface
Right?
there.
Have you known that person who just sort of they seem calm, they seem very, very collected and put together, and then somebody says just the wrong thing and all of a sudden they hulk out?
Yeah.
It's
like
that's
me.
bison. Yeah. Oh, I've never seen you hulk out. I mean, I think with dogs, have you ever? Well, of course you have. I mean, chow chows, very much
Sure.
are that dog that seems like they're just sitting there chilling, but out of nowhere they can become quite intense.
They're assholes. Yeah.
It can be. Anyway, so where I left off was that they can act aggressively towards humans. Buffalo, and of course, bison. Here's something else I found during this research. Many people refer to what we call bison as buffalo, and honestly, they may be more accurate than we are as far as from a genetic standpoint. Mm-hmm. There's some statistics about. I don't like to get. there's a kind of a bison eugenics type statistic out there. It's
Oh, no.
how many bison are pure bison, and then there are other bison, like that 420,000 number that are in commercial herds. That's probably, most of them are more like bison crossbred with cattle, like with regular cows, as
Sure.
opposed to chow chows we talked about earlier. So, but yeah, I'm not a big genetic purity guy. That's not
Good.
my thing. I find that purity is overrated.
Glad to hear that, John.
Yeah, good. If anybody ever had any doubts, now you know where I stand on the whole genetic purity and eugenics issues. Yeah,
Good information.
I'm again it. Okay. Buffalo may run, Kat. I think we've talked about some of these. We've kind of talked about, and they've been interspersed. But it's kind of good to get them in a group, I think.
Absolutely.
How fast do you remember? How fast we figured out that bison can run?
I say around 60 miles per hour.
Now you're overestimating a bit. But 35 is good because I mean that's faster than I can run, and that's all that really matters in the end,
Yeah, exactly. It's bad. It's bad news, John.
right? When charging humans, as we already know they are sometimes wont to do,
Specifically humans.
yeah, humans, bison use their massive horns to gore their target.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. These horns may attain a length of 2 feet.
Whoa.
Right.
That seems long.
Right? It does. That's what she said. No, never mind. I mean, it would be, frankly, but she would be right in that instance.
You would leave.
Right? And I do, I think about the fact that we do have a decent number of listeners in other places. And basically, like, we are like a very tiny minority of people who use you can't even call it the British system of measurement anymore because mostly the Brits don't use this either. They're into the metric system too.
Oh, right.
But we're OG in it with the old school feet, inches, yards, things like that.
Yeah, we are.
So if anybody really, if that upsets you, I will let us know. Drop us an email at mymistakepodcast@gmail.com and say, hey, let's get more international with our currencies, with our systems of measurement, and I will be down, and we will oblige. But it's going to require a little bit of a commitment from you to let us know your feelings, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Stand up, speak out. Metrics, what it's all about. Something like that. Okay. Because I'm going to say 2 feet is like 2/3 of a meter.
Okay.
Okay, approximately. Because I just because I know that 3 feet is close to a meter, it gets really weird and wonky if you go above or below that by any amount.
All right.
Yep, sure.
I'm gonna trust you on that.
Good. It's good to have a system of love and trust
of course.
within the podcast family that consists of both you and me.
Yeah.
In the United States, Kat, around 1.7 people are injured every year due to a bison attack.
Okay, that's kind of low, right?
I mean, it feels low to me, but I mean, here's the thing. They are now, it's become such a big media item. It's publicized so widely that it feels like it's a lot more.
It does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there must be so many that aren't reported because people feel so stupid.
Well, that's that 0.7 person, the 0.7 of a person who got injured. They're not going to tell anybody. But important to weigh that against is that only 0.7. Now we're talking 1.7 people are injured every year.
Okay.
0.7 people suffer injuries from a wolf attack annually.
Oh.
So that's like a whole person more every year gets fucked up by a bison and gets fucked up by a wolf.
And I think it's that calm demeanor, right? Like,
right? Yeah.
You see a wolf, it's like, oh, how cute. Oh. No. You should probably get the fuck out.
Yeah, you should leave.
You should leave. But a bison, it's like, oh, it's just like a big cow. It's so cute. He's just standing there. Like, what's he going to do? He's going to gore you.
Yeah. Yeah. That is what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So that 0.7 people suffer injuries from a wolf attack annually, and 0.8 people are injured by grizzly bears every year.
Ugh, it's too many.
So I mean, like in the stats here, we got like bison are in the lead, by quite a bit, and then grizzly bears, and then only slightly below grizzly bears, wolves.
Yeah.
Yep. So take that for what it's worth.
It's interesting.
According to a 2019 report from Utah State University, Kat, bison injure more people in Yellowstone than any other wildlife.
I would have guessed.
Yeah. Half of attacks occur when tourists attempt to take a photo with a bison. Okay? The Washington Post reported that last year. Between 1978 and 1992, which is a period of 14 years, 56 people were injured and 2 people died from bison attacks at Yellowstone.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Now, from 2000 to 2015, so that's a 15-year period, only 25 people reported injuries.
Okay.
So it's actually gone down somewhat. And I go back to the fact that they say half of the attacks occur when taking a photo. Mm-hmm. And I think that cell phones take photos a lot faster than old analog stuff. Yeah. So that's probably why. I feel like we're getting more people are getting away with the selfies.
I think you might be right.
I don't know. I just made that up, Kat. There's no stats about that.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it sounds right to me.
I mean, it's good enough. If anybody wants to refute that, the onus is on you. Send us an email.
We're really putting a lot on the listener right now.
Actually, we just want email people. You can abuse me in the email. It'll be fine. I'll be happy to receive it. So, park officials frequently remind visitors that it is illegal to I want you to catch every single one of the items in this list.
Okay.
It is illegal to feed, touch, tease, frighten, or intentionally disturb bison.
All right.
Okay, can you repeat that back to me?
It is illegal to frighten, touch, ask out on a date,
No, that's not. Okay.
push over.
I mean, yeah, if you're close enough that they can hear you. Yeah, no, feed, touch, tease, frighten, or intentionally disturb.
Right. What did I
Bison.
say? I thought that's what I said.
Yeah, sure, totally. I'm sorry, that's my bad.
Okay.
In 2018, a tourist from Oregon was arrested and later sentenced to 130 days in jail for drunken behavior and harassment of a bison.
Sure, yeah.
Right? Just drunken bison harassing. It's awful.
It is awful.
It is. It's bad. I mean, we make a lot of fun of it, but it's not good.
It's
We don't like it.
unacceptable, John.
Right. Now, okay, I want to. We've clearly painted the bison as the thing to be feared here, but I found an article that it harkens back to another thing that didn't quite make it to the fame that our bison report did. We don't have a hot spring report, but we do have an episode wherein we outline a number of people being hurt there. But I'm going to tell you, if you're given a choice between a bison and a hot spring, go for the bison. I mean, don't do either, but yeah. So the title of this article is, "What is more hazardous to Yellowstone visitors, wildlife or hot springs?"
Okay.
And so I'm going to read you this. This comes to us courtesy of the United States Geological Survey.
I'm going to derail you for a second. I think
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a third option,
Okay.
and it's being an idiot. And I feel like that covers both.
You could
hot
do either
springs
one.
and
You could do
bison.
both.
Yeah, you could.
You could jump on the back of a bison and try to ride it into a hot spring.
Oh no.
And you would definitely qualify as an idiot in my book if you did that. I mean, I want to see it.
I do
Definitely
too.
get a friend to video
Desperately.
that if you're going to do it. But don't do it. But if you're going to, please let me see it. Okay? Am I wrong, Kat? Am I bad?
No, you're right.
Okay.
I want to
Okay.
see that too.
Okay, good. Over the history of the national park, the national park being Yellowstone,
Yes.
dating back to 1872, 2 people have been killed as a result of bison encounters and 8 from bear encounters.
Sure.
Additional fatalities occurred outside. Now, see, wait, that's wild, because it's saying only 2 people have been killed total since 1872 in Yellowstone
Oh.
by bison.
Okay.
That feels like, when it says 1.7 people a year are
Yeah.
injured. No, but I guess it's only been 2 who have been killed.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
That checks
good.
out.
Yeah, that's better. Live with your scars and your pain when it rains. And
Yes.
remember how not to treat a bison. Mm-hmm. And 8 from bear encounters. So bear encounters, even though they're fewer and farther between, seem to be more certainly fatal
Yes.
than do bison.
Yes.
Additional fatalities occurred outside park boundaries.
Okay.
And over the past few decades, there have been an average of a few injuries per year due to human interactions with animals. During the same time period, since 1872, deaths related to hot springs are more than double those from bears and bison combined.
Yeah.
22 people have lost their lives
Wow.
due to scalding, and this is parenthetical, One additional fatality occurred just north of the park boundary at Leduc Hot Springs, and there have been hundreds of injuries. The number of fatalities might be increased by one if the disappearance of a man who was staying at the Fountain Hotel in Lower Geyser Basin is counted. It is presumed that he fell into a hot spring during a nighttime stroll because no evidence of his disappearance has ever been discovered. Now, I think we may have actually covered that in the past, and they found a shoe.
They found a shoe in the hot springs.
In the hot spring, and I believe it did belong to our gentleman. So this might be a little bit out of date. The first reported hot spring death was in 1890, while the most recent occurred just 1 year ago on July 31st, 2022. So clearly this article came out in July of 2023.
Okay.
Yep. Perhaps the earliest known incident of injury caused by a hot spring occurred in 1870. Truman Everts, an explorer who became separated from his companions, ultimately survived 37 days in the wilderness before he was discovered and rescued. During his ordeal, he slept near a hot spring to keep warm and was, perhaps ironically, scalded on his thigh by a burst of steam.
Ouch.
Yeah, I mean, when it's cold, you want to be close to the warm, but man, don't get too close.
No, not too close.
Nope. Everett's injury is typical of a hot spring incident. It is the temperature that causes the harm. Although some hot springs are slightly acidic, the acid is not concentrated, but rather is similar in its acidity to orange juice and not something that could dissolve body parts. So that's an important thing to dispel.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is the Bison Report. I don't want to concentrate too heavily on hot springs, but I do want to say, if you're in a place where bison are, don't go in the water.
Don't.
Probably a good chance it's going to be bad for you.
Be really hot.
Right. Now, I do have a couple of stories here, Kat, where it's, our typical characterization of a bison incident is where the human is like either an asshole or an idiot or somebody who, just is doing the wrong thing.
Right. Asking for it.
Right. Now, I have two stories. One of them is just like, dang, that's just bad luck. Like,
Okay.
Although with a little forethought, could have been prevented. The other one is something where it's like, oh, I feel like I might have done that too. It's, yeah. So allow me to elucidate on these incidents. The first one is an article that comes to us courtesy of the Los Angeles Times.
Oh, I heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good place. Good paper, that, I guess. The title is Woman Tried to Avoid Bison, Yellowstone Officials Say, but was gored. A possible reason why.
Oh, no.
An Arizona woman thought she was doing the right thing. When the 47-year-old Phoenix resident and another individual came upon a pair of bison in a field Monday morning at Yellowstone National Park, they abruptly stopped their stroll, turned, and walked away.
Okay, that's what I would have done, yep.
It wasn't enough.
Oh, no.
One of the two large animals charged and gored the woman, and park officials believe mating season may have played a key role.
Oh, no.
Yeah. The battering marked the first bison human attack in 13 months at the park. The incident happened coincidentally during National Bison Month.
Oh, no.
Ouch. Ouch. Hey, bison, don't live up to the stereotype.
No. Come on, man.
This happened July 19th of 2023.
Okay.
So the unidentified woman, which is best for all concerned, suffered, quote, significant injuries to her chest and abdomen.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And was airlifted about 165 miles southwest to a medical facility in Idaho Falls, according to park officials in a statement on Monday.
Oh, boy.
There was no update on the woman's condition, and park officials did not immediately respond to a call or email asking for more information. The attack took place near the Lake Lodge cabins on Yellowstone Lake's North Shore, near the northwestern tip of Wyoming.
Oh, boy.
This incident is being investigated by park officials who said in Monday's statement that it was unknown how close the individuals were to the bison when it charged.
Okay.
Right? My understanding is most of these areas there are walkways that you are expected to stay on. Now, that's not going to protect you. The bison don't necessarily recognize, eminent domain.
I don't think they do.
They do not. And I have actually seen footage of people who were on a walkway getting gored.
Getting cleared out.
Yeah. But yeah, part of this is like, I think people, when they're on a man-made structure, a byway that is for their pleasure, they may think that somehow there's some kind of force field around it. Well, let me tell you, folks, there ain't. There is not. So yeah, mid-July is the beginning of the mating season, which generally lasts a month, according to park officials. Bison are easier to agitate during this time. The animals are, quote, unpredictable and can run 3 times faster than humans, as we've already established, 35 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep. Male bison can weigh up to a ton, while females are about half that size. Frankly, half a ton is big enough to kill me. I don't know about you.
Absolutely.
There are roughly 5,900 bison in Yellowstone as of last summer, with about 4,460 in a breeding herd toward the northern part of the park.
All right.
Yep. So yeah, Monday's attack was the first since a Colorado Springs man was gored on June 27th, 2022 near Giant Geyser. The 34-year-old was walking with his family and suffered an undisclosed injury to his arm. And I believe that is the guy who was walking on the walkway.
Yeah. Did he tried to pull somebody out of the way or something? Like an old lady?
I can't remember if it was an old lady or a kid.
Yeah. Something.
But it kind of almost, the way he picked up the kid, I couldn't quite tell if he was trying to use it as a shield. It's hard to tell. Not long before that, cat,
John, you're besmirching this man.
I'm just saying, I can neither confirm nor deny that this guy tried to use his child as a human shield against a bison attack. I'm just saying.
We don't have lawyers, John. You have to be careful what you say.
That's why I'm neither confirming nor denying. I'm making no statement as to the veracity of this whatsoever.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Kat. How about some solidarity up in here?
Yeah,
Okay?
I agree with John.
Thank you. Now you're culpable too. Not long before that, Kat, a 25-year-old Grove City, Ohio woman was also gored in the May 30th incident. She walked too close to a bison at the Black Sand Basin. She was tossed 10 feet into the air and suffered a puncture wound, among other injuries.
Ouch.
Right? Yep. Park officials recommend staying at least 25 yards away from all large mammals. Frankly, small mammals too, if you can. I mean, squirrels are okay, but, yeah. And that's my addition. I want everybody to know everything after the word mammals there was me. Such as bison and sheep, and at least 100 yards away from predators such as wolves and bears.
Good advice.
That makes sense to me.
It does.
So yeah, I mean, it's possible. This was a year ago. I may be able to find an update on how close that woman had actually gotten to the bison beforehand. But they're pretty much exonerating her in this, saying that, listen, as soon as she saw, they turned around and walked away. It was too damn late.
Yeah.
All right, so that's one story. Now this story is just straight up sad, and I kind of hate to end on this, but I'm going to. And I'm going to read the update because they pretty much restate the whole original story in the update.
Got it.
But there's a photo of a man. He is lifting a baby bison, carrying it. Have you heard about this one?
I think I've heard this.
Okay. We haven't. I don't think we've done it on the podcast, though, have we?
I don't think we did.
I hope not. Okay, because I'm going to bum everybody out now.
Yeah, I'll leave this to you, bud.
Okay, here we go. This one's all me. I'm gonna. Yeah, Kat is exonerated here. The title of this that comes to us from NPS.gov, which is National Park Service.gov.
Sure. Yeah.
Hawaii man pleads guilty to intentionally disturbing wildlife in Yellowstone National Park. Now, Kat, do you remember the things you're not supposed to do to wildlife?
You're not supposed to smile at them.
Right?
You cannot sign them up for newsletters.
Okay.
You cannot ask them to babysit.
Okay. I mean, that's wrong on several levels, frankly. I love you, Kat, so much.
You can't ask them to give you a jump on your car.
Good. I mean, they might jump on your car.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And I think the last one is do not disturb. You're not supposed to disturb,
do not
right?
intentionally disturb
Right.
wildlife. Hawaii man pleads guilty to intentionally disturbing wildlife in Yellowstone National Park. Clifford Waters of
Cliff.
Hawaii. But I mean, I want you to hear this whole thing out before you put too much judgment. It's a thing, okay? Clifford Waters of Hawaii pleaded guilty to 1 count of feeding, touching, teasing, frightening, or intentionally disturbing wildlife, or asking it to babysit your child on May 31st, 2023, before U.S. Magistrate Judge Stephanie A. Hambrick. Walters was charged with a $500 fine, a $500 community service payment to Yellowstone Forever Wildlife Protection Fund. I like that. Community service payment. I feel like that's just smarter than the community service. You're basically babysitting somebody, making them do something they have no idea how to actually do.
And
Like,
we'll
just
never
give
need
us
to
the
do
money.
again. Yeah, give us
Give
that.
us
I
the
like that.
cash.
That makes sense.
I like cash. Give me cash for Christmas. I'm good on that.
Always.
Yep. A $30 special assessment and a $10 processing fee.
Okay.
Okay, so that comes out to $1,040.
Great.
Right, yes. According to the violation notice, on May 20th, 2023, Walters approached a struggling newborn bison calf in Lamar Valley near the confluence of the Lamar River and Soda Butte Creek.
Oh, no.
The calf had been separated from its mother when the herd crossed the Lamar River. As the calf struggled, the man pushed the calf up from the river and onto the roadway. Visitors later observed the calf walk up to and follow cars and people.
Oh, that breaks my heart, John.
Right? Like I get it's a whole Doctor Who thing. Are you my mummy? Like that's the are you my mummy?
I don't
Are
like
you my
that.
mummy? Yeah. But yeah, that's sad. And then this next part is frankly even sadder.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, because I love to just follow one bummer with another.
Good job, John.
Yeah, great. You're welcome. Thanks for tuning in. We might be back down to 10s now, Kat. I'm not sure. Park rangers tried repeatedly to reunite the calf with the herd, but their efforts were unsuccessful.
Yeah.
The calf was later euthanized by park staff because it was abandoned by the herd and causing a hazardous situation by approaching cars and people along the roadway. There was nothing in the report that revealed Mr. Walters acted maliciously. Yellowstone Park wants to remind the public that approaching wild animals can drastically affect their well-being and, in this case, their survival.
In this case, it was sentenced to death.
To death. A baby was sentenced to death.
There must have been something else they could have done.
I feel like that too. I do.
Kind of a zoo or something, you know?
Something, anything.
Jesus
So
Christ.
Yeah. So park regulations require that people stay at least 25 yards away from all wildlife, including bison, elk, and deer, and at least 100 yards away from bears and wolves. Disregarding these regulations can result in fines, injury, and even death.
Sure.
The safety of these animals, as well as human safety, and frankly, I care more about the animals in this case. They're in their home. We are visitors.
Generally, yeah. Yep.
Depends on everyone using good judgment and following these simple rules. Follow these rules to learn more information on wildlife preservation in the park, including when Yellowstone staff intervene in a natural process and why the bison calf was euthanized. There's some links there in the article, which will be posted in the piece.
Great.
This case was investigated by Yellowstone National Park enforcement officers and prosecuted by Assistant United States Attorney Christine M. Martins. For questions relating to Yellowstone National Park, please contact the Public Affairs Office at 307-344-2015 or email link, which doesn't work in audio very well. But yeah. So, Kat, here's the thing. This guy saw his baby bison, and the baby bison is just cute AF.
Oh, I'm sure.
And he wanted to help.
Yeah.
And that's a good instinct, but it's a bad practice. When you are dealing with wild animals, you are always best to let whatever happens happen.
Yeah.
Because it's possible that the mother might have come back for that calf, but
Who knows?
but once
don't
that
know.
calf had interacted with humans, it was confused, and maybe the mom didn't want to be around it anymore because they literally took the calf to the herd and tried to reunite it.
Yeah.
And just didn't work.
No dice.
No dice. So guy might have had the best of intentions, cost him $1,040, cost that calf its life. Wah, wah.
Do not sad trombone that, John.
I just totally sad trombone back. I did. It did.
Whew. All right.
Yeah, I always like to end on a down note.
Yeah, that's
I really Empire Strikes Back to that. I think that version of the Bison Report. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's totally fair. Well, I hope you're happy, Jill and Amber.
Right?
You got your wish.
Jill said she really wanted a Bison Report. Well, there you go. Now you know better than to ask me for things.
Well.
Yeah.
Well, good job, John. Well
Thank
done.
you. I think I told you early on that could go anywhere from 10 minutes to 45, and we made it to 41.
Pretty good.
So
Not
feeling
bad.
good. Feeling good about that.
Well, John,
Yes, Kat.
I have something of a report myself.
Okay.
It is animal related,
Okay.
and it's very different though from bison attacks in the wild. But it does involve a large hooved animal
Oh.
going after humans,
Oh.
and I support it completely.
Okay.
John, let's talk about bullfighting.
Oh, do we? Okay, listen. All right. I now don't feel bad at all for what I was talking about because, frankly, this is a depressing.
It is, and
Yeah,
we're not
yeah.
getting into the specifics of
Right.
the bullfighting. And I
Right.
think I speak for John when I say we are the My Mistake podcast is against the practice of bullfighting.
Firmly. I may look a little bit like Hemingway, but I do not share his fascination.
Kinda do.
with bullfighting a little bit.
So we're not going to talk about the actual, the ins and outs of bullfighting because, as you say, John, it's depressing and fucking disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cruel.
What we're going to talk about, John, is when the bulls fight back.
Well, all right.
So I came across this video recently on the old Twitter. I'm going to text it to you.
Not the tube of you.
No. So go ahead and take a look at that. I don't have a lot of information for you. There was not a lot. I couldn't find a lot of actual facts associated with this video.
Okay.
But really, all you need to know, and maybe we'll link this as well on our own tweeters. Are you able to access that link, John?
I am opening it up right now
Great.
on the website that I still call Twitter.
Yeah,
Oh,
same.
holy wow!
So, in this
okay.
video that we will be posting.
Yeah.
Sorry, John. What were you going to say?
No. I am put in mind. I can't remember. I think it was Ron Artest. There was a basketball player who did a very similar thing.
That's so funny. Yes, there's
Yeah.
actually references to. Well, we'll get into it. So
Okay.
So,
I don't want to step on it.
the video is of clearly. I'm guessing this is in Spain. I don't know.
Looks like it.
And this bull is just full tilt, running towards the edge of the arena, towards the the kind of the barrier, the wall there, and just launches itself into the crowd and starts wrecking people's shit. John, it's actually very enjoyable to watch. It just is mowing people over. People are running, jumping out of the way. There's, there are men, women, and children here, and I
sure.
don't know if anyone was hurt. But you showed up to a bullfight to watch someone murder an animal for no reason. I kind of feel like you get what you deserve.
Yeah, I mean it's a bull fight, right? Like if it's
Yeah.
just a bull massacre,
Yeah,
that's one thing. But no, this is
yeah.
this is a fight. The bull is fighting everybody.
The bull is fighting everyone.
Yeah.
And it's a good it's 47 seconds long, and it's entertaining. And so then I was like, well, this is interesting. I'd love to see. I'd love to learn more about it. So I started scrolling down the thread that this is attached to. John, apparently this happens all the time.
Oh, really?
And
Well,
if you Google, bullfight, bull jumps into crowd, a ton of videos show up. It's not just this one bull. It's sort of a thing that happens.
Well, I like that there's at least some modicum of danger for the people who are going to view this horrendous act. At least they are facing some consequence, the possibility of some
Yes.
consequence.
I think it's only fair.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. culturally, I understand this has been important and it is what it is, but I feel like it's out there enough. People have made this clear enough, like about what's up with this, that listen, I eat meat. I'm not a vegetarian, much less a vegan. But I believe in limiting pain and suffering of animals, which is the exact opposite of what a bullfight is. Yeah.
Completely. And then, so that when I did Google, 'cause I did want to find some information about this video, and I Googled, bull jumps into crowd. Many videos popped up, not the one I was looking for, but it was like basically this bull, Ron tests its way into the crowd. Like it's like a thing.
I think it's hilarious, Kat. Last episode, I couldn't even remember the word discouraged. I don't watch sports ball. I don't care about sports ball. Somehow I remember that Ron Artest jumped up into the stands and punched out.
John, do you know what Ron Artest changed his name to in the late 90s, early aughts?
Is he Meta World Peace?
Meta World Peace, John. See,
okay.
You know a lot more about sports than you let on.
It's through osmosis. I get it through other media, like through pop culture media, is where I pick that stuff up.
Yeah. Good for you. So then I was like, okay, well, if I can't present this in a factual way, then let me look for some other stuff. So I found some articles.
Right.
I will quickly go through.
You don't just take your time. I'm in.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I'm hooked.
I found an article on thedodo.com, which is a great website if you love animals.
If you love to cry, both happy and sad tears, go to the Dodo, because it gets me every freaking time.
Go to the Dodo.
Go to the Dodo. Hey, Kat.
So this.
Go to the Dodo.
You go to the Dodo.
No, you go to the Dodo. This moment of silliness brought to you by the Dodo.
I'd love it if they sponsored us.
That'd be great.
So Stephen Messenger wrote this article in 2015. Still timely, I think. Mm-hmm. Some folks might consider the cruel world of bullfighting a manly sport, but one participant recently learned that it can be anything but, quite literally. During a bullfighting match...
Is butt spelled with 2 T's, Kat?
It's actually not.
Okay.
During a bullfighting match at the Fiera de San Isidro in Madrid, I nailed that, by the way.
Did you?
Matador Marco Galan suffered an injury, John.
Oh.
The mere mention of which would make many men shudder.
I'm shuddering, Kat, and you haven't even mentioned it. Just the thought. I mean, you don't even have to mention it. Please don't mention it, Kat.
Oh, John.
Kat, don't mention it.
I'm going to mention
Kat, don't. Oh, everything's crawling up. It's not okay. Okay, go ahead.
Moments after, Galan thrust 2 sharpened spears called banderillos into the bull's flank. The justifiably defensive animal struck back at him, goring the matador with a horn in his groin. My testicle was ripped open, Galan told a local news reporter.
Kat, I
From
just
a
interrupt
hospital.
you for a second?
Oh yeah, sure. Sorry.
There is a physical thing that happens. I don't. Maybe I'm unusual. But there's a physical thing that happens when you hear that phrase. That don't repeat it again. But
I
now
can.
the other one.
Should I?
No. It only one of them did it, and I'm good. but there's a physical. I want you to know there's a physical response to that phrase, and it's not pleasant. So go right ahead.
Okay. Are you sure? Because people may have forgotten what I said.
I don't know. Why don't you pick up from exactly where you left off? Okay.
Galan told the local news from a hospital bed.
Thank you.
It wasn't a great moment for me, is what he said.
I mean, that's a huge understatement.
It is. The emasculated matador has vowed to persevere through the cringe-inducing injury to return to the ring fighting bulls, saying inexplicably, "These things happen when you go in the ring, but bad things happen. But bad things can also happen just walking down the street." There's a little bit more in this article, but I think we should end on a quote they got from the bull. And the bull, in response to hearing that the matador wanted to come back into the ring, the bull was quoted as saying, "Bring it on, you one-balled bitch."
Yes.
crazy.
You love to hear it.
You love to
However,
hear it?
And not to pour cold water on it, but I'm almost certain that bull was euthanized after that match.
No, John. No animals are killed in my stories.
Not in your story. Oh, I see. Never. Can I quote my wife quoting Truman Capote from earlier today?
Please.
Never let the truth stand in the way of a good story.
That's a great statement. That's a great quote.
Thank you. I'll tell Michelle to tell Truman Capote.
Please. In other news, this is an article posted by the New York Post in May of 2019.
That wonderful, hallowed, organ of media.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's an organ, all right.
And I'm not going to read the name of the article because that's part of the fun.
Right. They put spoilers in the clickbait sometimes.
Yeah, they do. I mean, anyway. Gruesome video captures the moment a bull gets revenge on a matador, thrusting a horn up his backside and leaving him with a 10-inch wound to his rectum that almost killed him. Thrusting a horn up his backside and leaving him with a 10-inch wound to his rectum that almost killed him.
I'm dying over here.
French matador Juan Liel, 26, had been tormenting the beast with his red cape at the Los Ventas Bull Ring in Madrid on Saturday when he suddenly got wrong-footed with the proud animal hot on his tail.
On his tail.
No,
Okay.
on it.
The
crowd at the 12th day of the San Isidro bullfighting fair. 12 fucking days they do this, John.
How many bulls do we know?
No, we're not going to get into it.
No, don't
Remember,
worry.
no animals are killed in my stories.
That's right.
This huge crowd of monsters watching the 12th day of people harassing and killing bulls for no reason screamed in horror as the angry animal impaled Leo with his right horn. Screamed in horror, John.
It's mighty right horn.
The animal lifted the bullfighter at least a foot for a few seconds before he crashed to the ground in agony. Why is that funny? Two assistants.
Because he was stabbing him with spears just before that? Yeah, that's why that's funny. It's okay.
Hilarious. As two assistants raced to distract the bull, Liel leaped to his feet, grabbing his behind and hobbling away like a real goddamn hero. Photos show the back of his pants completely ripped and rest stained with a large patch of blood. But Liel insisted on continuing the fight, and footage shows him eventually holding up the bull's ear, congratulations, you monster, to cheers from the crowd. What a lovely crowd. He was later carried out on a stretcher, grimacing in pain. Liel's surgeon told this particular article, or reporter, that a bone in Liel's sacrum kept the horn from pushing in farther and killing him. I cannot explain how he could continue to fight and kill the bull. So he eventually killed. So I lied. A bull was.
No, I mean that's just what that guy said.
Right.
We don't know. That
We
that's
don't know.
true.
We don't know.
We have not confirmed the veracity of that.
We
statement.
cannot confirm nor deny. Because a normal person with such a wound cannot walk, said the doctor.
Right.
Now,
John,
John,
he's not a normal person.
well, he's not a normal. Well, I would argue that is true. Now, John, before this poor animal was killed, they did ask him for a comment.
Oh, and what was the bull's quote?
Well, he said, rectum, I hardly knew him. Thank you, John. Thank you so much.
That is fantastic.
Well, in closing, with this, definitely, it's not a feel-good topic.
I'm thinking this is the Bittersweet Bison report is kind of that. I'm thinking that's our title.
I like that.
Right? Am I wrong?
I love it.
Okay.
So, according to Wikipedia, when you go to the page on bullfighting and you look under the title Hazards, Matadors are usually gored every season. With the discovery of antibiotics and advances in surgical techniques, fatalities are now rare. Although over the past 3 centuries, 534 professional bullfighters have died in the ring or from injuries sustained there.
How many bulls, Kat?
I don't know that we're going to get into that, John.
Okay, all right. Here's what I think. Since it's such a strong tradition, right? I feel like modern surgical techniques and antibiotics should be off limits. I mean, they didn't have those when bullfighting was invented, right?
I like that, yeah.
Yeah.
That seems fair.
I think you forego those things as you forego modern understandings of animals that have feelings and should not be put through horrible agony with with their death as the ultimate prize.
The main event.
Yeah.
I
There
agree.
you go. Okay. Boom. Make it so.
I'll make some calls.
Okay. I like
So listen, let's have a bit of a palate cleanser here.
that. Okay.
I have an airline story.
Oh, this is great.
Because now, John, my Google News algorithm, I get all kinds of weird shit in my news
literally,
feed.
planes and shit would be, I would imagine, what you would see
A lot
of.
There's a lot of it. So let's jump into it. This is from people.com, another, very hard-hitting news site. I am going to read the title because it's just fun.
I want to hear it.
This is what grabbed my attention. Now let me see if it grabs yours.
Okay, let's find out.
Excessively farting passenger reportedly causes American Airlines flight to turn around.
My attention, Kat, has been grabbed.
John, this is from January 23rd, 2024. Ripped from the headlines,
Wow.
if you will.
I will.
A quote, someone was quoted as saying, "We all breathed a sigh of relief when he was removed," a witness to the gassy passenger wrote on Reddit. A flight was reportedly delayed after the plane ran into some unexpected flatulence. An excessively gassy passenger had to be removed. The January 14th incident was documented by Texas-based Reddit user, don't care about his name, who wrote about the smelly situation on an American Airlines flight from Phoenix to Austin.
Do you know that I literally couldn't think of the word turbulence once you said they ran into some flatulence? I'm like,
Flatulence, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
What's going on there?
This is good writing, I gotta say.
It is. And you're delivering it great. I'm glad I
thank you.
interrupted you and broke your rhythm.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you got it. That's what I'm here.
The January 14th incident was documented by a Texas-based Reddit user, don't care, who wrote about the smelly situation on it. I did that already. Great. American Airlines did not immediately respond to people's request for comment. Here's a quote. "I was seated near the row where this situation occurred," the passenger recalled.
I love that this guy is the situation.
Yeah, it is definitely a situation. While the airplane was still at the gate, the documentarian says, the Reddit user says, now they're getting fancy, people, calm down, says they saw and heard an audibly disgruntled and maybe hungover man. He reportedly exclaimed, "You thought that was rude? Well, how about this smell?" and proceeded to loudly pass gas.
So this guy is not only like it's bad enough. He's not trying to hide it or be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." No, he's like, "Here, have another."
He's weaponizing it.
Yeah.
I don't know what provoked that comment, and while kind of funny to overhear, it was uncalled for, especially coming from a grown man on an airplane nonetheless. But John, the transgression didn't end there.
Oh boy, this guy's full of beans.
He's full of something. "Quote unquote, the man who just
Purportedly?
I got
No?
this. The man who just purposefully farted moments ago decides to loudly and condescendingly say, 'Yeah, everybody, let's just eat the smelliest food possible all at the same time.'"
Is he referring to the smelliest food possible as his fart, Cat?
I mean, I think he's like, "Hey, let's all eat, I don't know, beans and curry and stuff, and then fart together." I don't know.
Okay. Seems like a weird thing to propose when he's already clearly done it, and they were not invited along for the initial feast.
I mean, clearly this man is not making good decisions, John. I think we can agree on that.
I don't know. I'm refraining from judgment at this point, Kat.
Thank you. In response, a man in the next row reportedly remarked, this is a man in the next row, says, if you don't like it, you can fly private, to which the gassy passenger replied, that's so fucking rude.
Wait,
So
what?
it's interesting, right? So it's a switch. So a guy was responding to something the dude had said or did by saying you should just fly private. So maybe like if you want to fart all you want and not get called out on it, fly private?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, sure.
So the gassy guy said, well, that's fucking rude. And then another passenger chimed in and said, I think we'd all agree you're the rude one here. Oh, burn. That was good.
Right? Sick burn.
The spat continues with the flatulent flyer responding, that's just so low class.
Okay, two things I love about that last bit, Kat.
So interesting.
First of all, I'm a sucker for alliteration.
It's pretty good,
just,
yeah.
I mean, right? And then this guy calling other people low class.
It's really funny.
Amazing.
It's a twist. The spat continues while the flatulent flyer responding, that's just so low class, before another nearby passenger said, well, you're back here in economy with the rest of us. Everyone's just piling on to this guy, you know?
Yeah.
The scuffle caused the plane, which had left the gate and been moving toward the runway for takeoff, to stop and return to the gate. God, that's
good.
frustrating.
They hadn't taken off yet. Yeah, it
But
is.
still, it's
but
like, fuck.
just think about all the fuel they would have had to burn, and then before they land, they have to dump it. So
That's
if
true.
if they
That's
had to
true.
just turn right around, that's good.
true.
It's better for the environment.
Ultimately, that's what we're concerned with.
That's
I mean, frankly, it should be.
I mean, flatulence is a problem with climate change. Part of it is cow farts.
It's
frankly.
true. And probably bison farts, too.
And this guy.
So, John, at this point, the flight crew had to get involved.
Okay.
We got back to the, as a quote, we got back to the gate, and a flight attendant comes back and informs Fart Man that he will not be staying on this flight. He simply replies, I don't understand. And then she tells him they'll talk about it off the plane, the witness said. He gets up, grabs his bag, quietly exits the plane. We all breathed a sigh of relief when he was removed, and I think most people were on edge about what he may say or do next. The trip was only delayed about 15 or 30 minutes, so all in all, I think American handled it swiftly.
How many actual farts were there? Is this just one fart this guy got kicked? I mean, and obviously the taunting that went along with it.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, I think it was just the one.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
One fart can get you kicked off a plane.
It must have been pretty gnarly.
I'm thinking it was, but I think it's, here's the thing. If he had just let that same, like, okay, sliding doors situation.
Yeah.
In this other reality, I just like to, anytime we're talking about farts, I like to mention goop.
As you should.
Right? So in the other reality, same fart happens and he goes, oh, I'm so sorry. Not kicked off the plane, am I right?
Right.
I
Or
mean,
don't say anything.
or, I mean, I don't know. It sounds like this was like noticeable. I mean, like from both an auditory as well as olfactory sense.
Pretend it was the guy next to you. What are they going to do? How do you prove it? You can't prove it.
Right? Wasn't me.
It's, it's he fart, she fart. Like, how do you prove who dealt it, John?
I quote both Shaggy and Eddie Murphy when I say, it wasn't me.
There you go.
It wasn't me.
A similar, more severe incident occurred nearly 2 decades ago on another American Airlines flight. According to Wired, on that journey, a passenger reportedly lit matches mid-flight to mask a fart.
Oh.
Causing...
We visited this, the combustible devices and
We
things.
did.
Yeah.
Causing the pilots to make an emergency landing and the airline to ban the passenger.
Yeah, for sure. I could still walk into Oklahoma right now.
So there you have it. That is our palate cleanser.
All right. Do we need to come up with an airline segment Do we need a new theme song?
I mean,
Karen?
obviously.
Right?
Yeah. So, but what do we call it? We got to call it something, and then then it's an official segment, and then
Right.
that's the workflow, right? We come up with a name, becomes official, and then she does all the work.
Okay. Did I mention that I love alliteration? So
Yeah.
I'm thinking airline antics,
Okay. Okay.
airplane oopses,
Okay.
fly the
Okay.
stupid skies.
Very good. Okay.
Thank you. What do you got?
I am going to I love your ideas.
Okay.
I am going to go onto a website
Is
called
it a name generator?
No, it's
No.
Chat
Chat
it's
GPT.
ChatGPT.
Look out.
And I'm going to ask
Stealing our
it.
gerbs.
Yeah, well, what's a good name
I love this for us.
for a segment on the My Mistake podcast about airline mishaps? Airline mistakes?
Mistakes, incidents. I don't.
I'm going to say mistakes, and I'm going to say a funny. What's a funny name? I think
Right.
that is going to be a little less. Yeah, I think that'll be better. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, interesting, John.
Yeah.
Airline
Do I think?
airline oopsies is one of the ideas.
Damn. I
They've-
might be an AI cat. I don't
They've
know.
they've only given us 2,
Okay.
which is kind of weird.
That's light. Usually they give you a bunch, and most of them suck.
So we got airline oopsies, and I feel like it knows that you like alliteration. Flight follies.
Ooh. Okay. I like in-flight fuck-ups, frankly.
Turbulent Tales, Flying Follies Edition. Wow, they're really just.
These are pretty good. And what
bad.
is it with the? Am I a basic bitch cat that I like that I like alliteration that
Well,
much?
alliteration is great. You gotta have alliteration. I don't know
don't
about
know.
it.
I love it.
So what do you think? Turbulent Tales, Flying Follies, Airline Oopsies. What do you think?
I mean, we could go with the confluence of like we both came up with airline oopsies, but I don't know if that's the best. I kind of like what was it? Something follies. What was it?
Flying Turbulent Tales, Flying Follies.
Flying follies.
So Flying Follies isn't bad.
It's very lighthearted.
Flying
That's
Follies.
good. Yeah. I feel like it would have some silly ass music to it. Like
Yeah.
not yakety sax, but
But-
something in that neighborhood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not that, but like that.
All right. Well, Flying Follies then? Is that
Flying Follies it is.
Flying Follies it is.
All
and
right.
your work is cut out for you. Should you choose to accept it, which you certainly don't have to.
Well, but I feel like Anne loves a challenge.
I know that she does. I know that she does.
So that concludes our first segment of Flying Follies.
Bum, bum, bum.
Official.
Official. I like it. I think it might even conclude the whole show. What do you think? Is
I
the
think
shooting
that-
match? Are we out of ammo? What's up?
I think we're out. We're empty. We're donezo, as
We
they
have
say.
done a show.
We've
Made
done.
a thing.
We did.
You know what we
Dude.
do at the end?
What do we do at the end?
At the end of every show, other than
Yeah.
maybe like the first 2, I think, we have consistently fucked Mike Pence.
Fuck Mike Pence. Bye.
Bye.